It happened in a matter of seconds.
He made a split-second decision thinking his life was in danger.
Now questions surface about an officer-involved shooting in Aurora.
How would you grade the tactical plan that you saw play out on that video?
Probably failure.
The district attorney says the officer's decision to fire into a moving car was justified.
He came within inches of hitting that officer.
But not everyone agrees.
He intended to shoot and kill my client or anybody who was in harm's way.
Tonight, we're showing you the body camera video from multiple angles and letting you decide for yourself.
Was this officer justified or was he in the wrong? Here is Denver 7 Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kovaleski.
Ow! You are watching a split-second decision from 3 different body cameras.
Shots fired. We're code 4. Suspect tried to run one of the officers over.
3 Aurora police officers responding to a call from a female accusing her ex-boyfriend
Where's my phone?
of stealing a cell phone and then trying to cause a car accident.
He tried to run him over.
Now, months later, questions about that decision to pull the trigger. The decision by an Aurora police officer to shoot into a moving vehicle.
Here's the critical moment. Play it.
And you heard that shot, and you can see that clearly the officer was not in any kind of zone of danger when he fires that shot.
Harvey Steinberg is the attorney for the 19-year-old suspect. He argues the officer's decision was irresponsible. Watch again from 2 different body cameras and listen to the officer's immediate reaction. Ow!
Oh, what happened? He tried to run me over.
The officer's statement essentially said he felt the driver was trying to kill him.
You can see it from there. The officer is 2 to 3 feet away from the vehicle. There's no way that the vehicle is in a position to do any harm to the officer, and he shoots.
Describe what this picture shows.
The picture shows how close to death my client came.
You can see the bullet struck the underside of the chin of the 19-year-old.
If the bullet were even an inch higher, it would have probably caused the death of my client.
Stop!
Most police departments have gotten away from shooting into cars because of the inherent danger. You don't know who else is in the car.
Denver 7 asked 2 former police officers, both experts in law enforcement, to review the facts and the videos.
Gut reaction is that this was a shooting that could have been avoided.
David Klinger is a professor of criminology at the University of Missouri, St. Louis.
It's a situation where the shooting does not look good, but a firm conclusion should not be drawn because we don't know what the officer was thinking.
There's the officer. Watch the car.
I think the officer feared for his safety at first, and in the course of 2 seconds, made a judgment call to shoot inside that car.
Stacy Hervey is an associate professor in criminal justice at Metropolitan State in Denver.
I think he felt like his life was in danger, and in that moment, made a decision that violated the policy.
Both experts point to this document, the Aurora Police Department's policy on shooting into a moving vehicle.
The fundamental tenet is do not shoot into a moving vehicle unless there is some exigent circumstance. I don't see the exigent circumstance.
In fact, the directive states members should not discharge a firearm at a moving vehicle unless a person in the vehicle is immediately threatening the member or another person with deadly force by a means other than a vehicle. The directive also reads, shooting at or from moving vehicles is highly discouraged.
What's that say?
He's in direct violation of the Aurora policy.
The attorney for the driver argues that at the time of the shooting, that officer was out of harm's way and the shooting should have never happened.
The video clearly shows that the officer was not in jeopardy at the moment that he fired, but that's not the whole issue. The whole issue would include the officer's perception.
Those windows were very dark. There was a passenger in that car. There was not, at the time he shot that weapon, a threat of imminent harm.
Following the shooting, the district attorney conducted a customary investigation. Back in November, the DA determined Officer Bryce Settles was legally justified in his decision to use lethal force. The Aurora Police Department's Use of Force Review Board also justified Officer Settles' decision.
Essentially, the DA in this report said that officer did nothing wrong.
I was surprised because my instinct was that they're not going to be able to get around the true facts because it's all on video.
Ow!
They're basically saying this was a justified shooting. And I'll let people look at this video
He tried to run him over
and draw their own conclusions.
Steinberg has notified the Aurora Police Department of his intent to file a lawsuit, asking a jury ultimately to determine if that decision to shoot was wrong. The 19-year-old driver of the car remains charged with crimes connected with stealing the cell phone from his ex-girlfriend. And it's worthy of noting he was not charged with attempted murder of a police officer. I'm Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kowaleski.
And we asked Chief Vanessa Wilson for an interview. She declined because of the pending lawsuit. Instead, Aurora Police sent us a statement defending the officer's decision, adding the video underscores the dangers faced by police officers and the decisions they must make in a fraction of a second at times. The department goes on to point out that its manual states that officers should not shoot at a moving vehicle except in exigent circumstances warranting the immediate defense of life. Now, Officer Settles believed he was defending his life, and this is supported by the video, the statement goes on to say, and the 18th Judicial District Attorney's Office and Critical Incident Response Team affirmed that.